Hey guys, Fash here with another crypto video. Today, I'm making a video for my Australian and New Zealand friends who want to start their crypto journey but have no idea how or where to get started. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to step by step get your funds from your Australian or New Zealand bank accounts onto an exchange. If this is you, stick around, and if this is not you, I still highly recommend you stick around because like a lot of my friends who already are in crypto and are using CoinSpot, that might not be the best tool for you. In fact, you might be getting charged with a higher fee. So you might actually still get some benefit from it. And finally, hopefully once you've made some money and profit, at the end of this video, I'll show you exactly how to withdraw those funds from your exchanges back onto your bank accounts. So without further ado, let's get started. So jumping right into it, you need to figure out which banks you're already banking with. For me personally, I used to be with CommBank and I started to have issues starting mid to end of last year where I realized any deposits I was making to any crypto exchanges, it was taking roughly 24 hours. This didn't used to be the case, but there's some new regulations that they seem to be very severe. I've also seen some people report they have limits on how much they can deposit. They've also been asked to stop banking with CommBank because they've been depositing too much too often to a cryptocurrency exchange account. So for that very reason, I've stopped to deposit from CommBank and I personally just use NAB. From looking further into it, I've seen that most other banks are pretty much instant when it comes to transferring funds in and out of any crypto exchanges. For that very reason, I just thought I'd bring this up. This is the changes to cryptocurrency and other payments. This is some of the changes that CommBank actually introduced. We may limit the amount you can pay to certain accounts or merchants. For example, those we believe to be associated with cryptocurrency exchanges to no more than $10,000 in total per calendar month. You know, we need to be moving towards decentralization and not more control, especially when it comes to banking. It's our money. We're giving it to banks. We should not be limited by what we decide to do with our money. So that's one of the restrictions I've seen. Another restriction I was talking about is that they basically say we'll hold certain payments to cryptocurrency exchanges for up to 24 hours. I am all about instant transfer. So I'm not looking for any reasons to slow down, especially with the speed that cryptocurrency moves. You know, I see an opportunity and I'd like to execute immediately, and I would hate to have to wait another 24 hours just because my bank is taking too long. So if you're already with CommBank, it's okay. You can still go through the steps in this video, but just bear in mind that specifically with Commonwealth Bank, it might take up to 24 hours each time you deposit, and you may have some limits up to $10,000 per calendar month. With that being said, let's jump right into which exchange I recommend. There are two main exchanges in Australia. One is Swyftx and the other one is CoinSpot. Now, a lot of people use CoinSpot and that's perfectly fine, but just bear in mind that CoinSpot has some of the highest fees when it comes to any crypto exchanges. Personally, I recommend Swyftx. That's what I use. This video is not sponsored by them, so I'm only recommending what I actually use and what is most beneficial and obviously cheapest. Looking at the main two differences between CoinSpot and Swyftx, there is no staking through Swyftx. So if you're planning to buy some Ethereum and Bitcoin and stake it, then you have to go to CoinSpot. But in every other sense, they're pretty much the same. And another benefit with Swyftx specifically for this video is that they also offer deposits and withdrawals to New Zealand banks, where CoinSpot is specifically just for Australia. Both exchanges have most of the main cryptocurrencies, and if you want to get into lower market cap cryptos, then you probably have to go to other exchanges like KuCoin and Binance, where you would have to withdraw your funds from Swyftx then onto those exchanges. And if you want to buy on Uniswap, for example, then you need to withdraw your funds from Swyftx to your decentralized wallet like MetaMask. Looking at other differences between Swyftx and CoinSpot, when it comes to just depositing, they're both free when you use your Pay ID or bank transfer. But if you use a credit card in CoinSpot, then you will end up paying a surcharge. It's in your best interest to use Pay ID. It's instant and it's free. I always use Pay ID and I'll show you in this video exactly how to do that. Now, when it comes to trading, if you buy any crypto on CoinSpot, you end up paying 1% in trading fee, whereas if you buy it on Swyftx, it's basically 0.1 to 0.6%. When it comes to withdrawal fee, there's also no charge in either accounts. So if you have $10,000 withdrawing $10,000, you will get $10,000. So that's the main differences between Swyftx and CoinSpot. So to start off, I'll show you exactly how to create an account on Swyftx. If you just go to Google, type in Swyftx, the first option will be the swyftx.com. If you go in here and you press sign up, you should be able to create an account. account. Here you will put your first name, your last name, your phone number, your email address. Make sure that your name is exactly as it appears on your driver's license or your passport. You won't actually be able to deposit any funds unless you verify yourself and you KYC yourself, which means your name has to match the ID that you submit. So you're only delaying the process if your name doesn't match exactly as it appears on your official ID. Moving forward, I won't actually do this here. So you will go ahead and do this. I'm gonna go ahead and log in. So once you finish signing up, then you'll have to come in and it will basically guide you to get yourself verified and get your KYC done. It's a very simple step-by-step process where you submit your document. But once that's done, then you'll be able to deposit funds. So once you do that, you come to the left-hand side here and you go to deposit. Here it will say select an asset to deposit. So select the asset. I always select Australian dollars. Obviously, you can deposit New Zealand dollars if you need to, if you're in New Zealand. So once you press Australian dollars here you can choose how you would like to deposit it. So you have the option of bank transfer, where you would go to your app on your bank account and you will send your funds to this account name, to this BSB, to this account number, and you just have to make sure your reference has to match the reference that is allowed there, so it knows that the money is your money that's coming in there. What we're interested in is pay ID, which is here. It's got this symbol of ID. So here it will say your biller name is this and this is your pay ID. So basically what it's doing is it's generating an email address. So once you get this, all you need to do is to go to your bank account. So I'm going to go to my NAB account. I'm going to go to transfer and pay, select the accounts that I want to transfer the funds from. I can go through pay ID through email, and in the email address section, I will be putting this email address that it generates for me here under the pay ID in Swyftx. Once I press continue, all I have to do is press the amount of money that I'd like to transfer. On the reference, again, I always put my name in there. Once you do that, your deposit should come through. Say I have $100 here, as you can see under my AUD value, and I'd like to buy some Bitcoin. All I have to do is go under trade. Here I can go and select Bitcoin versus Australian dollars, and I can go buy. Here you can choose on instantly trade from Australian dollars, which is what I have right now. I have $100 in this account. I want to trade it to Bitcoin. So here I can choose how much of that $100 I like to trade for Bitcoin. So if I do 100%, that's the $100. If I like to do $50, then I'll go 50%. Through that, I can go review order and I can place my order. This way, I will have traded my Australian dollars for Bitcoin. If I like to do something different like Ethereum, I can come up here, select Ethereum or BNB or Solana or XRP. Don't do XRP. Dogecoin, Cardano. Don't do Cardano, or whatever you like. That's how you can buy and trade your Australian dollars for other crypto assets on Swyftx. Now, you might want to buy something that isn't listed on Swyftx, which is a lot of coins that I personally invest in, and they're only available on KuCoin, Binance, Uniswap. In that scenario, what you need to do is first trade your Australian dollars for USD Tether, which is a stable coin. So what you do is you select USDT Australian dollars. So now I've got 64.487 USD Tether. Now, if I want to transfer this to most of the exchanges such as KuCoin and Binance, I always use Tron or TRX, which is the cheapest way to transfer any USDT stablecoin across most blockchains, and it only costs $1. That is the best way to transfer. Most expensive way to transfer is through Ethereum blockchain. Sometimes costs up to $30 to $40 American dollars to transfer. So for that, what you need to do is come on the left hand side here, go to withdraw, and under withdraw, you can select the asset you'd like to withdraw. So I want to select USD Tether here. I'd like to transfer all of it to my Binance in this example. Now I have to select an account to withdraw USDT to. I'm going to go select an account, add a new account. I'm going to call this Binance. And then for the address, you'll have to go to your Binance account. And if it's a other account, so for example, if it's a KuCoin or Uniswap, you'll have to go and get the address, as I'm going to basically explain to you. What you want to do on Binance is go to deposit, select USDT as what you want to deposit. Then it will give you an option of bunch of networks you can choose to deposit your USDT through. Now, as I explained, we'd like to transfer our USDT through Tron network or TRC20. So once you do that, you select TRC20, and then it gives you a deposit address. You want to copy that. That is the address you will be pasting into the address section here. Once you do that, under here, it will say TRX, Tron, TRC20 is the only available network, which is perfect. That's exactly what we're trying to transfer the USDT through. So you go continue. It will send you a code to your mobile number. You want to select that account to withdraw USDT to, and that's it. You can see under the fees, it's only 1 USDT to transfer this amount. I press continue. You'll have to put the code in and confirm the transfer. And that's it. It shouldn't take that long to transfer the funds. Now, if you want to transfer the funds back into it from another exchange, it's the same process, but reverse. You go to your Binance or KuCoin first, you go withdraw, and then you would choose TRC20 or TRX, and you come back to Swyftx to deposit. So you go on the left-hand side, you go deposit here. Again, you will select an asset. You will choose USD Tether if that's where you're transferring from another account. I understand, continue. You will select a network. Again, you will choose Tron or TRC20. You will go generate new address. Now this address that it generates here is your Tron address. You will copy this, you will go back to your Binance, KuCoin, Uniswap, and you will paste it into your deposit address on that exchange. And from there on, it should be very simple. The most important advice I can give you when it comes to transferring funds across different chains and exchanges is always double check the network that you're transferring your coins through. For example, USDT is one of the few coins that actually you can transfer them through different chains. So you can transfer USDT through Binance, BEP20, ERC20, Ethereum chain, and a bunch of other ones, including Arbitrum, Optimism. So the list goes on. So you need to make sure that the wallet you choose is exactly matching to that chain. So if I'm withdrawing through Tron or TRC20, I need to make sure that on the other end, the wallet address that I've got is also TRC20. Otherwise, your funds will be lost. Happens all the time. Another trick that I can teach you that you should do all the time: never ever transfer big amounts in one go. Always do test transfers. So if you're about to transfer $1,000, I never transfer $1,000. I always transfer $5 first. Make sure I've received it. I'm doing everything right. Then I continue to transfer the rest of the amount, doing everything exactly the same. You don't want to learn that the hard way. Trust me. Now, when it comes to withdrawing your funds, so let's say you've just made some money. Hopefully now you're very happy. You're about to withdraw that money out and go and do some shopping. So the first thing you need to make sure is everything is converted back to AUD. Say I've got this $100 again. I'm going to have to go start a new trade. I'm going to go from USDT back to AUD, 100% of it. Then what you need to do is come back to the left side and go under withdraw, select an asset, Australian dollars. You need to select an account. Now under here, this is where you would have to add your bank account details. So you will select account name, account holder name, your BSP, your account number, which you will be familiar with. Once you do that and you select it, you will select that account. Then you will select your amount that you'd like to withdraw. So in this instance, it will be $98.27 for me. And you just have to select the reason. In this instance, transfer to my bank account. Then I go continue and the withdrawal should be done. Seems to be completed already. So now you know how to transfer your funds from your bank account to Swyftx and how to withdraw them back into your bank account. Just if you take anything away from this video, always make sure to do a small test transfer before you transfer any big amounts, and always double check your chain that you're transferring the crypto on. With that being said, hopefully you've enjoyed this video and found this video valuable, and hopefully I've managed to answer most of your questions. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment them below. And lastly, if you've been thinking about buying Bitcoin or other crypto and you don't know where to start, what to get, and if now is a good time, check out my most recent video that I'll link here, where I went through Bitcoin's chart and the state of the market, and I revealed some of the altcoins that I'm personally invested in and I'm most bullish on. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video.